Welcome to Veranda IAS. In this session, we shall discuss some of the key highlights of the Union Budget 2022. The Union Budget 22-23 was presented in the Parliament by the Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. The budget aims to complement macroeconomic growth by focusing on all-inclusive microeconomic welfare as India is celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and it has entered the Amrit Kal. The Finance Minister stated that production-linked incentive in the 14 sectors for achieving the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the self-sufficiency, which has received a positive response and with the potential of generating 60 lakh new jobs and rupees 30 lakh crore in addition to the production over the next 5 years. And according to the budget 2022, India's economic growth will be the greatest among all the large economies and it is to be growing at a rate of 9.2%. And in the 14 industries, 60 lakh new employment to be generated under the productivity linked incentive scheme. Productivity linked incentive scheme have the potential to generate an addition of 30 lakh crore in the revenue. Now, entering the Amrit Kal, the budget provisions have provided an impetus for growth along with the 4 top priorities. So these are considered to be some of the very key highlights of the budget. First, we have the Prime Minister Gati Shakti. Second, inclusive development. The third, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition and climate action. And last, the financing of the investments. First, to discuss about the PM Gati Shakti. Primarily, this focuses on the infrastructure covering all the transportation. The 7 engines that drive the PM Gati Shakti are as follows. First, you have the roads, railways, airports, ports, the mass transport, waterways, and the logistic infrastructure. The scope of the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan will encompass all the 7 engines for the economic transformation, and this will be done in a seamless multimodal connectivity and improve and increase the logistics efficiency of the country. The projects pertaining to these 7 engines of the National Infrastructure Pipeline will be aligned with the PM Gati Shakti framework. First, regarding the road transport, the national highway network to be expanded by 25,000 kilometers in the year 22-23, rupees 20,000 crores to be mobilized for the national highway network expansion, and the multimodal logistic parks to be set up, the contracts to be awarded through the public-private partnership mode, and this would be for the implementation of the multimodal logistic parks at 4 locations in the country. And moving on to the railways. The one station, one product concept to help the local business people and the supply chains. See, what is of key feature or a very unique product of a particular place to come up, get into business, and this would be the underlying feature of the one station, one product concept. The 2000 kilometer of the railway network to be brought under the Kavach. The indigenous world-class technology and the capacity augmentation to be done in the year 22-23. And there would be 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains to be manufactured during the next 3 years. 100 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals for the multimodal logistics to be developed again during the next 3 years. Under the Parvatmala scheme, the National Ropeway Development Program to be taken up again on a PPP mode, the public-private partnership mode. Contracts to be awarded in the 22-23 for 8 ropeway projects of 60 km length. The second key feature of the budget, the inclusive development. First, featuring the agriculture, rupees 2.37 lakh crore direct payment to 1.63 crore farmers for the procurement of wheat and paddy to be granted, and the chemical-free natural farming to be promoted throughout the country, a great bearing on the organic farming to be undergoing a great promotion in the country. The initial focus would be on the farmers' land in 5 kilometers wide corridors along the river Ganga. The National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development to facilitate fund with blended capital to finance startups for the agricultural and the rural enterprise. The Kisan drones for crop assessment, digitization of land records, and spraying of insecticides and nutrients. Now, featuring the industries, especially the MSME, the Udayam, E-Shram, the National Career Service, and Atmanirbhar skilled employer mapping portals to be linked. 130 lakh MSMEs provided additional credit under the Emergency Credit Link Guarantee Scheme to be extended March 2023. Guaranteed coverage under the ECLGS to be expanded by 50,000 crores to a total cover of rupees 5 lakh crores. And rupees 2 lakh crore additional credit for the micro and the small enterprises to be facilitated under the Credit Guarantee Trust for the micro and the small enterprises. Coming to the educational sector under the inclusive development. One class, one TV channel program of the Prime Minister e-Vidya to be expanded to 200 TV channels. Virtual labs, skilling e-labs to be set up to promote critical thinking skills and stimulated learning environment. All this to be synchronized along with the new educational policy which is being implemented by the government some years ago. The high quality e-content will be developed for delivery through the digital teachers, and this goes well to help the students in the country, especially during the pandemic time. The Digital University for world-class quality, universal education with personalized learning experience to be established. Under skill development, the digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood will be launched to empower the citizens to skill, reskill or upskill through the online training platform. The startups will be promoted to facilitate Drone Shakti for drone as a service. Moving on to Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. This is under the drinking water scheme. Rupees 60,000 crore has been allocated to cover 3.8 crore households in the year 22-23 under Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. The Saksham Anganwadi to be developed and integrated benefits to women and children through the Mission Shakti, Mission Vatsalya, Saksham Anganwadis and Poshan 2.0 to be implemented, and 2 lakh Anganwadis to be upgraded to Saksham Anganwadis. Now, moving on to the Ken Betwa project. See, this Ken Betwa project has been the first ever project under the National Perspective Plan for Interlinking of Rivers. 1,400 crores outlay for the implementation of the Ken-Betwa link project has been sanctioned in the budget, and 9.08 lakh hectares of farmers' lands to receive irrigation benefits by the Ken-Betwa link project. Moving on to the health schemes, an open platform for national digital health ecosystem to be rolled out. Especially during the pandemic time, where many people are jobless and affected largely due to the health conditions, the government, in a very timely manner, is to launch the National Tele-Mental Health Program for quality mental health, counseling and care services. A network of 23 tele-mental health centers of excellence will be set up, with the NIMHANS being the nodal center and the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, will be providing the technology support. As a special drive to promote developmental activities in the Northeast, the Prime Minister's Development Initiative for the Northeast region is to promote and fund the infrastructure and social development projects exclusively in the Northeast region. An initial allocation of rupees 1,500 crores made to enable livelihood activities for youth and women are to be covered under the scheme. Regarding the housing sector, rupees 48,000 crore allocation for completion of 80 lakh houses in the year 22-23 under the PM Awas Yojana. Coming to urban planning, the modernization of building bylaws, town planning schemes and transit-oriented development will be implemented. The battery swapping policy to be brought out for setting up charging stations at scales in the urban areas. Regarding the e-passport, e-passports will embedded chip and futuristic technology to be rolled out. And regarding the land records management, a unique land parcel identification number for IT-based management of land records to be set up. Under the Vibrant Villages program, the border villages of the country to enjoy developmental activities. The Vibrant Villages program for the development of border villages with sparse population, limited connectivity and infrastructure on the northern borders to be developed. Moving on to the banking sector, 100% of the 1.5 lakh post offices to come under the core banking system, and the scheduled commercial banks to set up 75 digital banking units in 75 districts in the country. Accelerated corporate exit. The Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit to be established, speedy winding up of the companies. The scheme for the design-led manufacturing to be launched to build a strong ecosystem for the 5G as a part of the production-linked incentive scheme in the telecom sector. Under the AVGC Promotion Task Force, the Animation, Visual Effects, Gaming and a Comic Promotion Task Force to be set up, as this is being the most sought out sector with great demand in the country. Regarding the export promotion, the Special Economic Zones Act to be replaced with a new legislation to enable states to become partners in the development of enterprise and service hubs. Atmanirbharta in defense, self-sufficiency. As the country has been largely relying on the imports of the defense, in order to attain self-sufficiency, 68% of the capital procurement budget earmarked for the domestic industry in 22-23, and this has been an increase of 58% when compared to the previous financial year. The defense R&D to be opened up for industry, startups and academia, with 25% of the defense R&D budget has been earmarked. The independent nodal umbrella body to be set up for meeting testing and certification requirements. Yet another key aspect of the budget 2022, the sunrise opportunities. The government contribution to be provided for the research and development in the sunrise opportunities like the artificial intelligence, geospatial systems and drones, semiconductor and its ecosystem, space economy, genomics and pharmaceuticals, green energy and clean mobility systems. There has been an additional allocation of rupees 19,500 crores for the production linked incentive for the manufacture of high efficiency solar modules to meet the goal of the 280 gigawatt of the installed solar power, which is to be completed by 2030. 5 to 7% biomass pellets to be co-fired in the thermal power plants. Here, the CO2 savings of the 38 MMT annually, the extra income to farmers and the job opportunities to the local population, and also to help avoid stubble burning agriculture fields. Regarding the energy transition and climate action, 4 pilot projects to be set up for the coal gasification and the conversion of coal into chemicals for the industry in use. The financial support to farmers belonging to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes who would like to take up the agroforestry activities. Public capital investment. Public investment to continue to pump private investment and demand in the year 2022-2023. The outlay for the capital expenditure has sharply increased by 35.4%. From rupees 5.54 lakh crore in the current year, there has been an increase of rupees 7.5 lakh crore in 22-23. The outlay in 22-23 to be at 2.9% of the GDP. The effective capital expenditure of the central government is estimated at rupees 10.68 lakh crore in the year 22-23, which is about 4.1% of the GDP. The world-class foreign universities and institutions to be allowed in the GIFT city, which is the Gujarat International Finance Tech City, which is a planned business city in Gujarat. An international arbitration center to be set up for timely settlement of disputes under the international jurisprudence. Next, regarding the resources mobilization. Data centers and energy storage systems to be given infrastructure status in the budget. The venture capital and private equity invested more than rupees 5.5 lakh crore last year, facilitating one of the largest startup and growth ecosystem measures to be taken to help this scaling up this investment. The blended funds to be promoted for the sunrise sectors. Sovereign green bonds to be issued for mobilizing resources for the green infrastructure. A key highlight of the budget, the introduction of digital rupee by the Reserve Bank of India starting the year 2022 to 2023. The digital rupee can be stored, that is, the money can be stored digitally in a secured format, powered by the blockchain technology, which will make the currency management cheaper, where the government will be printing less money, providing greater fiscal space to the states. The enhanced outlay for scheme under the financial assistance to states for capital investment. Say from rupees 10,000 crore in the budget estimates, this has been increased to rupees 15,000 crores in the revised estimates for the current year. Similarly, the allocation of rupees 1 lakh crore in 22-23 to assist the states in catalyzing the overall investments in the economy has been mentioned. 50 years of interest-free loans over and above the normal borrowings have also been granted to the states. In the year 22-23, the states will be allowed a fiscal deficit of 4% of the gross state domestic product, of which 0.5% will be tied to power sector reforms. Moving on to the fiscal management. The budget estimates of the year 21-22 was rupees 34.83 lakh crore, while the revised estimates of the same year, that is 21-22, was rupees 37.70 lakh crore. The total expenditure in the year 22-23 is estimated at rupees 39.45 lakh crore. The total receipts other than the borrowing in the year 22-23 is estimated at rupees 22.844 lakh crore. The fiscal deficit in the current year is 6.9% of the GDP as against 6.8% mentioned in the budget estimates, while the fiscal deficit in the year 22-23 is estimated at 6.4% of the GDP. We shall discuss the rest of the budget highlights in the upcoming session. Thank you.